Hello Stampers, Kelly Acheson at stampabove.com coming to you from Menasha, Wisconsin. Thanks so much for joining me for my Wait, What? Wednesday tip video. Today I'm going to show you how easy it is to lace up a card just like this to go with these adorable tennis shoes. This stamp set is called Epic Celebrations. It's part of our Celebration promotion. You get this free with a $50 order. And don't forget, celebration ends March 31st. So the stamp set will no longer be available after that time frame. For every $50 you order, we have 2 brochures and a flyer that you get to choose free product from. So it's a great time to stock up on some of your consumable supplies, if nothing else. Let's get started and I'll show you how I did this. We're going to start with our cardstock layers here. I've got a scrap of Whisper White and a scrap of Pacific Point. Then I've got another piece of Whisper White. This is 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. 2 pieces of Whisper White that are 4 by 5 1/4. And then our card base is 4 1/4 by 11. And I've got that scored at 5.5 inches. And we can start stamping. I'm going to bring in my paper piercing mat here so I can keep my tabletop from getting ink all over it, maybe. It's never a guarantee, is it? I've got archival black ink here, and I'm choosing to use that because we're going to use the aqua painter and we're going to apply water to our card. So you want to use an ink that is permanent or archival. I'm just going to stamp my little greeting. Here's to an epic celebration down here in the bottom right corner. And then our inside layer is going to get stamped with a happy birthday greeting. And I'm bringing that greeting in from the watercolor words. This is an awesome stamp set. The images are big in it, and you also get, I should say the words are big, and you also get some flowers and leaves and heart and a star. This is a go-to greeting set for me. I really like this one. And of course, I'm a font girl. I love funky fonts, and I think this one qualifies. And then I'm going to stamp these little headphones down here just for a little extra element. Next, what I've got going on, these scraps that that I'm going to use, I need to die cut, and through the magic of TV, I've already done that. So I used the Stitched Shapes framelits on this square. That all comes in one pack. You get squares, circles, and ovals, 4 of each, different size. And then I used my layering squares with the scalloped edge here for the Pacific Point layer. And I'm going to stamp my tennis shoes on the Stitched Shapes layer. And now we're going to do a little bit of coloring with our aqua painter and our Pacific Point ink pad. Now if you open this up just a little bit and then squeeze it, you're going to get some ink right in the lid there, and that's what we're going to color with. The aqua painter is usually my favorite coloring medium, and I'm just going to get some water coming out here. I always kind of like to keep a tissue on hand just in case I get too much water. I can wipe it off a little bit. And I want this color to be pretty intense. And I'm just going to color these cute little epic headphones. It's not really epic anymore because now you have those beats. You guys know what those are? They're like these insanely expensive headphones that give you the most amazing quality sound. And they look like this. So this isn't something old. I love the control I have with an aqua painter, and even though you think this brush looks really big, it is very, very detailed. You can do some very detailed work with this. Now, the trick to doing these tennis shoes is to leave those shoestrings white, and that really makes your shoes pop. And you, like I said, you have a lot of control with these aqua painters so that you can do that. And that's what I really love about them. So I'm coming into all those little crevices. Okay, I'm going to speed up my camera now, so you don't have to sit and watch me color the other one. And then to clean off your aqua painter, you just rub it back and forth until you don't see any more color come out of it. Ta-da! Okay, I am going to, oops, glue this to the Pacific Point layer. I love just that little bit of scallop peeking out from behind there. That's so cute, isn't it? And then we can glue the inside in right away. Notice that I use very, very little glue. I know it always looks like I'm really pouring it on there, but it's a tiny little amount. I have some people say that they get raised. They can see the glue through the other side because it raises up. If you're finding that happening with the glue, you're using too much glue. Very little goes a long ways for this. All right. Next, we are going to do the shoelaces. This is a really cool way to make it look like tennis shoelaces. And what I've got here, these are tooth flossers, and they're kind of like a needle threader. You use these to floss your teeth when you have braces, or maybe people have partials. I always used them when I had braces. I'm going to use that to thread my needle. What I made here is a template, and my stamp, or was it my stamp clubs? No, my card buffet attendees got to make this card. So I made this template for them. Each one of these holes is about 1/3 of an inch apart. And I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 holes. So I'm going to just hold this up on my 1 3/4 by 5 1/4 inch layer and bring in an 1/8 inch handheld punch and punch these holes out. You could also, you know, make yourself a template and then use a pencil to mark it, but this is just quicker. And once you've made a couple of these cards, you know, it always gets easier, right? Okay, there we go. We've got 10 holes. They don't have to be absolutely perfect. This gorgeous ribbon comes in 4 different colors. We've got Pacific Point, Rich Raspberry, Old Olive, and Pumpkin Pie. And it's got the stitching on the edges. It is so cool. This is a 1/4 inch wide. And I just thought it was just perfect for shoestrings. So what I did here is I started in the front of my layer on this top hole. And you have to be careful because you don't want to rip your cardstock, so don't get too crazy pulling that through there. But you're going to leave approximately 6 inches hanging out here. That's the amount that you need to tie the bow that's on the card. Where'd my threader go? Here it is. And you're just going to weave this in and out just like you would if you were lacing your shoes. Of course, you want to make sure everything's nice and flat. Don't let your ribbon get twisted. And then you're going to skip one and go to the next one, just like you're lacing shoes, right? This is how it works. Okay, I'm going to keep doing this and I'll be right back when I get down to the bottom so you can see what I've got here. Okay, so here's what I have so far. And now I'm going to go right across to the hole on the other side. And again, keeping my ribbon, it's all straight in the back. It's not twisted around. And there we go. This is what you have at the end. Super cute, right? Now we're just going to tie this in a bow, just like you would tie your shoes. I think this is a fabulous card for a teenager. Or maybe you have a friend that's a runner. That's cool too. That would be fun. Just gonna trim these off. Let me put my flosser back in here. I don't want to lose these. Okay, now how do we put it all together? I'm still using bits and pieces of my dimensionals here. Make sure you use up these edges. They're fabulous. And you're just going to put dimensionals on this layer. This card is actually pretty simple. And I think the hardest part, I shouldn't say hardest, the thing that takes the most time is lacing up your shoelaces. But it's a pretty simple task to make a pretty spectacular, cute card. We've got our epic celebration layer here, and we're just going to put this, it's about a ½ an inch from the side there. Put that right on here, and I see that my layer's a little bit long, so I'm just going to bring my scissors in here. I don't know how that happened. It's a little weird. Must not have measured right. And then I'm just going to glue the tennis shoes on there. You don't need more dimensionals to put those on there. You don't want your card to be too tall. And I'm just going to center that right on the top there. And we're almost to the finish line. Get that pun? Okay, just trying to be a little funny. There we go. What do you think? Epic celebrations. That's pretty epic, isn't it? I really like this card. Again, I used watercolor words. And this is our Epic Celebrations. This is free with a $50 order until the end of March. So that's when celebration ends. If you need to place an order for any supplies, you can click right up here in the top right corner. That'll take you right to my blog. Don't forget to subscribe with this button down here in the bottom right corner. You don't want to miss anything I have coming up. And again, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to spend a little bit of it with me. I really appreciate it. You guys have a fabulous day. Bye-bye.